Welcome to the Light, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Good morning, listeners, or if it's the afternoon, or if it's nighttime, or whatever time of the day that you'd like to listen to this podcast. As my wonderful intro voiceover guy suggested, my name is Lee, and I always appreciate everyone who comes and joins me for another lovely session. This is up to episode 17, which, holy shit. Look, for anyone who's new, just joining, I started doing this in June, and now we're up to episode 17, and look, time flies when you're having fun and when you're in lockdown. I'm Victoria. Our lovely state is constantly in lockdown. But good news is we finally got, when we're out of lockdown, which as I'm recording this, as its release date, it's still a month away until I can go to the movies and do things. So unfortunately, I do believe I will miss Shang-Chi. However, I do believe our lovely Premier of our state is a Spider-Man fan, because we do get out in October and hopefully the cinemas will open, which means right and prime for Spider-Man No Way Home. Thank you, Premier. Slight clap. Which is fantastic, because as we get closer to the date of Spider-Man No Way Home, the rumors, everything is circling around, and it's increasing, getting more and more intense, and more leaks. And I'm gonna cry, because I'm like, just tell me, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the damn movie. Actually, no, don't tell me. Nope. Don't wanna. I've actually struggled this with every day. I was talking to some of my friends, Mark and Dean, and we were literally debating the whole thing where we're like, yep, tell us. Nope, don't tell us. Yep, tell us. Nope. Like, just constantly, like, we want to know, but we don't want to know at the same time. It's like, I want to be surprised, but I don't want to be disappointed. It's funny how different when you go into these movies now compared to back in the day when... obviously, there was less spoilers and everything, so you would see a movie and be completely, wow, I didn't see that coming. And now you're like, I knew that was coming, or which unfortunately some movie companies spoil all the good parts in the trailer, so you're left with the absolute garbage that's left over. You're like, oh, that was seen in the movie, or that was seen in the movie. Or you have Warner Brothers who go, here's all these scenes in the trailer. All these scenes are not in the movie. All these scenes will not make sense and go in different order. They will also release a trailer 2 months or a month later that will be completely different vibe and completely different dialogue almost. I'm talking about Suicide Squad, the first one. Honestly, if you do have 2 seconds, go back and watch the first trailer that got released. I think it was nearly a year that we got the first trailer for it. Watch that, and then watch the last trailer before the movie got released. It is nearly completely... You can tell that something, the mood had changed, or going into this had changed. And Warner Brothers got their meaty little, their grubby hands all over it and ruined it. I, for one, do want to see the director's cut, David Ayer's cut of that particular movie. And look, as you would have known, I don't particularly like that film. However, I'm all up for director's cuts, depending. Unless you look at Blade, which I think there is a director's cut, but I think there's about 5 different versions of that film. No joke, look it up. There's like 5 different versions, all with different endings, and it all plays with the fact whether or not Harrison Ford character was a replicant. My theory, he was a replicant, and he'll never know. Well, I mean, just that movie alone, not including the sequel. And if you haven't gone to see Blade Runner, that is a disgrace, and you need to go watch it. It is a fantastic movie, which I will review and watch it soon, and I will do it for an episode. it's a sci-fi person's dream. It is a fantastic movie. And look at that, I've got a lovely tangent going from all these different movies to supposed to go to Blade Runner. But anyway, welcome. So, in this particular one, I sat down, so we're going to go through all the news, obviously, and my review for What If, and any, obviously, gaming news. And I finally got to watch the new Mortal Kombat movie, which came out this year, and fantastic. But enough of that. Let me get through all the little tidbits. So first things first, before I get into my reviews. So the little thing that's got the superhero genre, superhero fanatics up in arms, which honestly I'm going to tell you is absolute bullshit. You know, it's like why? Like I honestly think it's just clickbait. Which means you only did this because you want to spark attention to your new movie. So the new Dune, depending on how, what, culture, language, Dune director recently had an interview, and the interviewer asked him well, what are your take on the Marvel movies? And he slandered it. He said, he's like, there's nothing to them really. They're just copy and paste again and again. Which obviously, this got posted online, and obviously anything goes online, spread like wildfire, spread further than COVID. Because a little tidbit is the fact that there is more people on Facebook than any country at all. Like their numbers, altogether, completely spread. And there's been, the multiple directors have come forward and say that this is full of shit. The director of Doctor Strange, he came forward, and as well as James Gunn came forward and retweeted this. And it's just the stupid thing is, like this is where my passion lies. Like Marvel movies, there is a formula. I will admit that there's a formula to making these movies, but they're not copy and paste. You can't sit there and tell me, oh, Doctor Strange, it's just like Black Panther. Oh, look, Doctor Strange, just like Spider-Man. Oh, look, Doctor Strange is just like Iron Man. Or Thor is just like Guardians of the Galaxy. Or Thor is just like Black Widow, 100%. And, if you... Honestly, I think he's just said all this to get clickbait for his new movie. The bullshit thing is the fact he's got the gall to say this, and the fact that you're directing Dune. Shit, I can't get that right. His name's Dennis Villeneuve. Yeah, nope. Let's just call him Dennis, the Marvel Menace. And he's gone on. Dune's a remake. You're directing a remake. Talk about copy and paste. Like, literally, copy and paste is a remake, 100%. Control C, Control V. So he sparked this. The whole community's got up in arms. Some of the memes that I've seen from this have been hilarious. It's like, dude, you're making a remake. Or like, that's absolute bullshit. Which it is. And honestly, I just think it's clickbait for his new movie, which is going to make, it's not even a good kind of clickbait. Like people, this, depending on the type, how passionate you are, people might not even go see the new movie because you said this. In saying that, all the reviews for Dune so far, let's just call it the D movie. The D movie, the fact is, all the reviews are coming out very positive. I was almost tempted to go see it when I'm on lockdown. However, depending on, if you really want to alienate people, this is a good way to do it. Like, dude, you've done a remake. The movie you're promoting is not originality. It's, it'd be different if you're making a movie that, it wasn't a remake or wasn't off anything, but the fact that you're doing a remake and you say it's copy and paste from Marvel, well, here's one thing. Marvel will make more money in your entire lifetime. And every single director that has done a Marvel movie so far would agree that it's not copy and paste. And it's a good way to be a dumb F-U-C-K to say comments like that. Because it's just the whole point of him saying it is just silly, and it's very interesting to see. It's when you're at the top is when you have your most critics. At the bottom, not so much. But so that came out. That was a good laugh. In other news, I did find out the fact that the next James Bond movie with Daniel Craig will actually be his last one in question, because he did a farewell speech that was recorded, and it's kind of sad. Like he looks like he's about to crack and cry. So No Time to Die will be his last go. And honestly, like, say what you will about Daniel Craig's tenure as James Bond, there have been hits and misses. However, if you go back to the first one, Casino Royale, that's a fantastic spy James Bond film. Like, that was the perfect kind of movie to reignite fans into this franchise after Pierce Brosnan. Similar like how I put it in the same kind of vein as Batman Begins. Like, the last movie was too corny, it was too on the nose, so they had to strip everything back, and they had to make it more real, more grounded, and increase that action. And if you look at both films, both succeeded because they did that, because they moved themselves so far away from the last movie. So that would be Daniel Craig's last go around. So the question on everybody's minds after this movie comes out is, who is going to be the next James Bond? There's always been floating around who's who. My hand up is Tom Hiddleston. I think he'd be a fantastic James Bond. That's my candidate. But there's a lot going around with it. Will it be a female James Bond, or will it be a man of color? Like, it's just, I think whatever they're going to do, whatever they're going to do is they're going to make sure the fact that they strip it back and build on the character once again. Like, you've got to move away from the last iteration of the character in film, I do believe, if you're trying to make something new. Because the fact that if you just copy and paste, it's just, it doesn't usually bode well. Or the fact that it's just mumbled and jumbled, like Terminator franchise, Terminator. You'll see what I mean. And if anyone fans of that, you will completely understand what I mean by Terminator. Which, look, it's, this movie has actually been pushed back, I think, 4 or 5 times. It was meant to come out a year ago. So it's very sad to see that this is his last go around. And I hope that I will be able to go see it, because I have enjoyed Daniel Craig. I think probably, Casino Royale is, out of all of them, top tier James Bond. In other news as well, I really want to go back. So last week I was talking about The Room. My apologies, I got to make a retraction. So the Disaster Artist, the book, which was made about The Room, as well as about that James Franco starred in. Sorry, it wasn't actually Tommy Wiseau that wrote that. It was his co-star, the guy who played Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. He actually wrote the book, and that's it based off. So I after about 2 days later, one of my mates was like, he didn't write the book. I'm like, oh, so he did. I can't read. So that's a little traction I want to go back to. But he wrote the book. Please tell me if anyone who's listening, if you've watched The Room. I would love to get your thoughts on it. It is mind-boggling. Like, trust me, if you haven't, go back and listen to my podcast, episode or go out of the room and go watch it, please comment or message me and let me know what your thoughts are. I would love to get everyone's feedback on it. And in other news, keep going. Let's keep moving forward. Is the fact that this is Sorry. So this is still on movie news and video game news, a little bit of both. So what's going to be really cool is that we're going to announce in the past week and a bit is they're going to make a Twisted Metal live action TV series, and Anthony Mackie is going to be starring in it. If this is done right, this is going to be going under Sony Pictures. So obviously it's going to be handled very delicately, thank God. Same with how they're making the Last of Us TV show, which is apparently costing ridiculous amount to make each episode, with the Mandalorian starring in it. But yeah, they're making a Twisted Metal TV series. Take my money, 100%. For those who don't know Twisted Metal is actually the longest ongoing franchise that Sony has. It was originally a PlayStation 1 game, and it was an awesome game. So basically, you're in cars, you're trying to kill each other, deathmatch, but there'd be all these crazy weapons, crazy characters, destruction derby on a massive scale. And it was so much fun. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Twisted Metal Black, which you could still get on the PSN store. So much fun. Like, just the absurdity and the crazy of each character of it. As well as the last Twisted Metal that came out on PlayStation 3. I really hope they make a new one. Because it's an awesome franchise. I feel like it's been laying dormant for too long. Like, they need to go back to that well again. But yeah, the last Twisted Metal that came out on PlayStation 3, like, the whole storyline is dark as fuck. Like, honestly, it's full of all these characters that have had, like, going to mental institute or, like, going on a killing spree, like they're murderers. So the whole premise is the fact that all these murderers and everything have to go into a death match and get on all these cars and try and kill each other. Really awesome. Go check it out. It's one of those childhood PlayStation games that... And the funny is, the weapons, you could destroy the world and destroy the environment world. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, so they've announced that. So that's going to be really cool. I can't wait until that comes out. And also in little news, so this is double. So Andy Serkis, who's directed the new vitamins, you need to get your vitamins straight up. Make sure you're having your vitamins and minerals and everything else you need. Sorry, Venom 2 director, Let There Be Carnage, is only going to be 90 minutes long. They confirmed the runtime because apparently Andy Serkis wants to hit this ball running. So basically, action, go. So that's going to be interesting. However, in an interview, he said the fact that apparently both Venom and Spider-Man will meet at some point. But from his conversation, he's like, they will meet eventually. However, they want to do more stories until then because he feels like, if you pull the trump card, you're leaving too much on the table. However, I'm like, no. And he did say, if the fans really want it. Who says no to Tom Hardy versus Tom Holland? Like, who honestly saying no? Who's going, oh no, let's make sure Sony doesn't cross over with the MCU? No one around the freaking mind says no, because we all want to see this. Tom Hardy is great. He's a great actor. He's fantastic as Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, as well as he's good in Inception, as well as he's it's The Fighter. I think that's the one he's in. He's great in that as well. He's a top tier actor, and him to go against Tom Holland, the way the size of Venom as well. Take my effing money. But apparently he did say that they will eventually meet. Also, a photo of Tom Hardy is circulating online that was recently taken. It's just a photo of him. You wouldn't think much of it. However, you zoom in, he's wearing a cap. And on that cap, it says Spider-Man No Way Home, which is a cap they gave out in the production team. So this is what I meant earlier. As I said, this just grows a speculation. This is it just a fluke, or do you got to take the hat off? Like, is he going to be in No Way Home? This is what stuff excites me. This is what makes me go, oh, come on, really? Is it? Isn't it? Unfortunately, actually, now I think of it, I probably won't be able to go see Venom 2 either. And apparently, the rumors going around that whatever is in the after credits is fantastic. Have I ever mentioned how much I hate lockdown? I've probably been doing a few episodes of this, and I actually absolutely hate it. It's the latter half of the year, and all these good movies are coming out, and I want to scream. This is times like this. I do wish they would do the dual release and go to streaming service as well, but they won't do that, obviously. However, but yeah, so that photo is looking around, which has just caused more speculation. So it's all going to be very interesting how it's all going to play out. And trust me, I'm going to make sure with me and the boys, I get front row seats, because I'm the movie guy. I'm the one who gets the tickets, because I don't trust any other MF, because the fact that I don't like waiting. Honestly, I'm late to everything, trying to fix that. However, movie tickets, I'm on it. I'm on like ants to a picnic, or free slabs at Dan Murphy's. For people who don't know, Dan Murphy's is, if you're international, it's a bolo. Not bolo, it's a bottle shop. And it's one of the very few things that has remained open during lockdown and has become quite comfort. And I enjoy seeing Uncle Dan Murphy's a lot. But yeah, I'm going to make sure I get these tickets straight away and all on it. Also, because I also want to mention the fact that now, over the next 2 months as well, because we don't get out of lockdown properly until November, is the fact that I will, in November, will be bringing out the DC episode with Mark and Dean that I have mentioned to. So I'm really hoping to keep keep time with those guys and sit down and do this. It's, for those who don't know, this idea that we've had is kind of like been on the back burner, or like on the back burner for the past actually, we've been in lockdown for 3 months. It's been on the back burner for 3 months to do, and I know Mark's excited. Mark is a big DC fan, and he's really pumped to do this. So is Dean, and I've been clamoring for him to do it for a while. It's just kind of hard to do in lockdown. So hopefully we'll bring that to you. And also other news as well is the fact that please keep an eye on whatever platform you do watch or do listen to my podcast, because I will be bringing out another musical episode for those about to save the world 2. If you are interested, or if you did like that, please let me know. I'm going to make another one with a bit more taste, a bit more variety, if you will. A little bit heavier, that I can guarantee you. So I will be bringing out that with tidbits, obviously, what movies, TV shows, and video games all from. So keep an eye out for that. Now I'll get all the news out of the way. The latest What If episode. Spoilers. Look, I'm making sure I'm getting quicker. Spoilers, and I know people will be like, oh, you didn't say it quick enough. I'm like, look, mate, don't make me come there and crack your neck. As in, helpfully crack the neck. Not in the point where shut the hell up. However, I did have someone say to me the other day, I was like, oh, you spoiled. I'm like, I'm sorry, I will make sure the fact that I say spoilers louder. S-P-O... spoilers. That's how you spell it, spoilers. Sorry, the latest What If episode 6, if Killmonger saved Iron Man. So this particular episode brings us right back to the very beginning of the MCU in film release, not in chronological order. So we're not going back to Captain Marvel, or I think the Internals was going to be even older. Anyway, actually no, Captain America. Silly me. We're not going back to Captain America. So this is a Killmonger. So Michael B. Jordan came back to play Killmonger, and awesome actor. He killed it in Black Panther. He was the perfect villain, and it's very similar with Tom Hiddleston and obviously Josh Brolin as Thanos. He's top tier villain. Like everyone was, after watching that movie, it was clamoring for him to come back and play the character again. And look, it's one of those things that you can't come back because he's dead. I know the fact that that rules can sometimes not apply. Loki, however, if it stays with one movie that he's in, I think that keeps the integrity of his character. And yeah, he's honestly, he's great in that film. He's a great villain. He was one of those villains where you're like, oh yeah, I know you're the villain, starts talking. You've got a point. Yeah, I'm siding with you. You start siding with the villain because he makes up a good point. So he came back from this episode. So this particular episode is the fact that instead of the bomb going off at Tony and obviously getting the shrapnel in his heart, Killmonger actually steps in. He's in Afghanistan. He stops it happening. He saves him. He becomes friends with him. Like the whole course of the MCU completely changes with that single scene. Obviously with the rest that follows. But over the whole episode, Killmonger was great. I do feel like, I don't know if it's Marvel's thing because the fact that Robert Downey Jr. didn't come back to do it, or because of the fact that Iron Man's a pivotal character. But I think the last 3 episodes, Iron Man's kind of like bit the dust, or eat shit. He's died. He died in the one where the Avengers all died before the Avengers movie. He died in Zombies. And he dies in this one. So, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's just a fluke or anything, but anyway. Honestly, I like the episode. It's solid, and again, what he's talking about, you still, I get what you're doing. There's a lot of tidbits, there's a lot of different comments that are made that take part in, like, the first Iron Man 2, and I was actually surprised because he also kills, through his journey, he kills Rhodey, he kills Black Panther with the same weapon that, Iron Man 1 that paralyzed Iron Man, that Jeff Bridges uses. So that was really cool. That was a cool. There was a lot of callbacks in this episode, as well as Andy Serkis. Again, Andy Serkis came back to play Ulysses Klaue. Which, again, he died. Overall, it was a solid episode. The thing is, I really do hope, which they did release a mid-season trailer for the What If series, and you do see a lot of these characters intertwine or different scenes. So if you didn't see the mid-season trailer, it does end on a bit, not saying flat, but it's like, oh, what's going to happen next? So if it was only one episode, I'd be like, all right, I want more. But the fact that we've seen the mid-season trailer, there's going to be more, so it's going to be really cool. So it's going to be interesting. So I don't know if they're doing here's 7 episodes of 7 different universes, and here's another 7 of the sequels, or the fact that here's 7 episodes and they're all going to intertwine. because you do see evil Doctor Strange come back. So that's going to be really cool. Like, so last time we saw you, you're in a crystal dome. So how in the Lord are you going to come back? However, so that's going to be really cool. So I'm really excited to see what the next episode is going to be. But please go check this out. In order now for me, see, Michael B. Jordan kills it. For me, Doctor Strange 1. This one would have to make it number 2 for me, actually. Number 3 would be When the Avengers Die. Number 4 would be Zombies. Number 5 would be... number 5 would be Star-Lord, or as in Star-Lord as in T'Challa. And number 6 would be Captain Carter. So, don't worry, I understand. You're not giving Captain Carter much. Actually, other way around. Zombies, down. T'Challa, Star-Lord, up higher. Probably the biggest takeaway from this episode that is... Like, I know I'm saying it every single week, and I'm going to maybe tear next time he pops up, but this was the 3rd time Chadwick Boseman played Black Panther, which means we only got one more time of him playing it and playing the character of Black Panther, and that's really going to be sad. It's really going to be really hard, because the fact that's it, that's his last time, and it's, how is Black Panther 2 going to move forward? And so it's going to be really hard to see when he voices that last time, which I really do hope they do acknowledge that, but it might be different because they did acknowledge and said their RIPs in the Star-Lord episode. However, honestly, please go check it out. It's a solid episode. Ending's a little bit ambiguous, and, it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to lead to, because you do see Shuri and Pepper Potts in a scene together in the mid-season trailer, which they join forces at the end to take out Killmonger. But yeah, so that was 100%. Go check that out. So movie review, Mortal Kombat Fatality. Look, I thought I'd get into this one. I thought this would be my movie pick for the week, because so far everyone who I've spoken to said it was all right, and the fact that I could actually watch it most of all. So let's draw back before I get into the review. So this is obviously based off the video game Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is a game that first came out in 1992. So far since then, there's been a lot of games, gone on multiple different platforms. It's also the most recent release is Mortal Kombat 11, which came out in 2019. So this is a very long franchise. It's got a lot of pop culture references. So this is Mortal Kombat. It's fighters going against each other, and you hear the voiceover go like fight, or right at the end be like fatality, and obviously deep voice like the Halo guy. That'd be like Slayer, similar thing, or Team Slayer, or Flag Capture, whatever it was. So all these fighters fight, but the fatality, you could do this really cool move that, just be very bit detailed on how, decapitation or dismemberment or straining the guards, get the heart, like Indiana Jones 2 scene, Kali Ma, kind of thing. And obviously it's grown popularity ever since then, and there's a lot of pop culture. And the music, the techno music as well, which... looking back on it, some facts about Mortal Kombat is the fact that the first one was created by 4 people and it took 10 minutes to make. The original idea was meant to be a Claude Van Damme game. However, that didn't come to pass, but it got turned into Mortal Kombat, yet Van Damme's still in the game. He was actually the true inspiration for Johnny Cage. As well as it, even though the fact it took 10 months. Four people to make the game. It took 10 months. It took at least another 6 months for them to try and figure out. During that 6 months to figure out the name for the game. And the funny thing is, the reason why combat has... I didn't actually know this. The reason why the combat has a K instead of a C is the fact that someone wrote it wrong on the board and someone's gone, oh, look at that. Oh, there you go. Bingo. Let's call it that. And I was like, that seems overly simple. And whoever misspelt that created a franchise name which is very easily recognized. As well as if you do look over the series, the very first game was actually all the fighting sequences were actually motion capped. I think they still do it now, but they all get famous martial artists across the time or wrestlers to do all these fighting scenes. So it really seems authentic. So it's not just someone just guessing the moves or drawing the moves. They've done stop motion. You can actually go online and look at. There's a behind the scenes of the very first game. And you can see how old it is because you can see the stop motion technology, motion picture technology and how they do it. And you're like, whoa, that's old shit. Oh god. And it's really cool how they did it. And you go back in the game, like at least a lot of people you speak to have played Mortal Kombat. Depending on the age, you might have not got the chance to. But still. So that's been going for this entire time. It's a lot of martial arts, and as the years have gone on, the fatalities have increased. Different genre people from different movies have popped in. There's been Freddy Krueger, there's been the Terminator, there's been Hellboy, there's been DC characters, there's been Jason, there's been who was the most recent one? Rambo. Rambo's been in it as well, and that's how they got a lot of DLC characters are fantastic, and just the fact of how they kill everybody is like fantastic. Predator's been in it as well, and it's just brutal as fuck when they die. The fatality. And then obviously you have this giant franchise, this popularity. Obviously, they're going to try and make a movie. So the first movie came out in 1995. Budget, $18 million. Gross, $122 million at the box office, which is outstanding. Obviously, you're going to make a sequel. However, the sequel came out in 1997. Look, the fighting and CGI is... and the acting is kind of bad too. Like, go back and it's typical low-budget 90s movie, and you're like, wow, no wonder I haven't heard of you acting anywhere else, or I haven't seen you in anything. So the second one was a commercial massive flop. So its budget was $30 million this time around, and it made $57 million at the box office. And these numbers are not including advertisement. So yeah, it was a big loss. However, this particular one, this new Mortal Kombat movie, had a budget of $55 million, and it made $83 million at the box office. Now, the thing is, all the reviews have been positive for it. I think what the problem with the film, what hindered it did do the dual release. Obviously, Warner Brothers. Sorry, I need to pick me up. With Warner Brothers. However, I think it suffered because of COVID. The last 2 years, any box office returns are a little bit questionable, and because of that, depending on where you are, what lockdown, what's the situation. However, when I say that, Shang-Chi is absolutely ripping through the box office and making so much money, because I feel we're on the other side of COVID. Yet we're sort of not. So that was the budget for the film. So this is where the third crack. So nearly 20 years before they decided to make another movie, And I must say, I didn't go into this with a lot of expectations, but I was blown away. Honestly, this is a lot. This is a fun movie. The fighting's really good. The fatalities, there isn't a lot of fatalities, I will admit. I thought there was going to be more, but the ones that are really gory and just what you expected from the Mortal Kombat franchise. And obviously they do all the signature lines as well, like fatality or, Kano wins. The opening scene's really good. The fighting in general is really positive. CGI is on point. There wasn't a whole lot of scenes where I was like, it looks like you cheaped out there. From start to finish, the CGI is on point. Sub-Zero CGI is fantastic. And you're like, I want more of that. That was really cool. Obviously, Sub-Zero being ice powers. So, he's got the same powers as Elsa. Pretty much. He's not a Disney princess, yet Elsa could take him on with ice powers. And towards the end, there's also they do like almost the tournament fighting. Everyone goes through a different world to fight, and the fact that those fighting moments are really cool. They still include the music from the video games. It's all like techno version, like Mortal Kombat, whatever, techno noises. So that kicks in, and that really sets the scene, which is really cool. And Kano in it is so funny. He's almost the audience, I will admit. He's going through this entire journey with these characters, and he's just funny. Like, it's just like, what the F is this, or what's that, or where's my... Like, the funny thing, he's really like, he's the audience if you were going to be real in this world. And honest, out of the whole movie, he's the MVP. Like, I could not... Every time he spoke, I nearly laughed, and honestly, he's one of the reasons why you should go watch it. But yeah, like, overall, solid movie. There was, I will admit that there was some bits I was like, oh, like, as in, like, how do we get here really quickly? Or the fact, like, where's the other characters? That was a good one. I didn't think there was a lot of fighters as well. I was expecting more fighters than be in the movie. However, Sub-Zero and Scorpion on point. Costume, fighting styles, fantastic. Everything on point. They did not miss a beat with them. From my point of view, like, I honestly thought they smashed it out of the park. And the other characters are very well. Raiden is on point. I think Raiden was the character that I play the most because I like his electricity powers. Not his hubcap of a hat though, but his electricity powers are really cool. And yeah, so overall, I think it's a solid movie. Go check it out. It's rated R, so it is obviously going to be gory, and obviously it's going to be Mortal Kombat. So they've used that, they've pushed that, and I think it's something really solid to go see. So if you just want a solid action flick, it's really good. And I do hope they make a sequel. It does leave it obviously on a cliffhanger that they're going to make a sequel. And so far, I do believe they are going to make one. They obviously depend with how COVID is with everything. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of this movie I thought, no, I didn't really like that. Overall, I was laughing and I love the fatalities. I thought this movie did very solid with the representation of the game. If I was going to make a sequel, my biggest thing is more fighters and more fatalities. That's probably my two. Like, yeah, more fatalities, more fighters. It seemed a bit limited to me, given the fact of what kind of roster that they have. However, I do want Scorpio and Sub-Zero to be in the sequel. I want another fight that was awesome, it was solid. But yeah, go check it out. Let me know what you think. And yeah, there wasn't a whole lot about it I didn't like. So if I compare to The Room, which everything I didn't like, that was probably my solid review. This is just a giant pile of shit. Honestly, honestly, please go watch that movie. Like, anything compared to it is absolutely gold. However, yeah, so Mortal Kombat, honestly good. I rate it. Go watch it. Put it in my back pocket. And yeah, guys, that was my last little tidbit of my movie review. Thank you for joining with me episode. I hope I got I hope you guys got a lot from me today. There's a lot of news, tidbits to go check out. And I hope you're very excited for those about to save the world 2 musical episode, DC episode with Mark and Dean. As well as I've still got more, so please go check out my Instagram page if you want some merch, all the fun stuff. And yeah, if you do have any ideas of any movies you want me to review or a discussion, just message me. I will chat for days about this stuff. 100%. I'd rather talk about this than work. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining with me today. And until next time, which I hope I'll be out of lockdown, but I won't. I have to leave another month. And I'll see you next time, guys.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.